I'm just glad he's paying me because Mike is just an...
Rolling.
What? Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kids of all ages, it's time for your weekly Fix-A-Funny. Can I get another one of these? I'm going to need this. I'm about to do this shit. So I'm okay, I swallowed it. So grab a cocktail, take those pants off, and treat yourself to the sexy bald man that makes you tingle in your special place. Woo! I'm wrong! Got my mind on my money, my money on my mind, bitch! I'm house announcer Chet Jackson, and it's time for the Me, Myself, and I show with Mike Buncord! Are we done? Yes.
Me, myself, and I. It's me, myself, and I.
Hello, and welcome to another exciting episode of Me, Myself, and I. Episode 135. 135. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I am high on coffee, and it's Thursday night, and it's time for Me, Myself, and I. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Happy Friday Eve. I hope everyone's enjoying your Thursday. And oh my goodness, we already have comments. Let's see what it says. Let's go. I'm already here. Booyah. Kenny Lorenzetti says, I'll have to send you a new. Oh, that's right. Kenny Lorenzetti did the soundtrack to We Brace. If you like that song, if you didn't, he will kick your ass. He is a big dude with a heart of gold. That's the worst type of person to kick your ass, dude. But I'm so sorry. I didn't mean you. I'll make you a song. So, how's everyone doing? We're all good? Good. Everyone's good. I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope everyone enjoyed watching the Tyson fight. Did you see the Tyson fight? You did. I know. Even the highlights. The funniest thing about the Tyson fight was everyone was more concerned on Roy Jones Jr. He's like, and Mike Tyson's like, what about me? How come everyone don't fight about me? Like, dude, calm down, Tyson, because you bit someone's ear off last time we saw you fight, you freak. God, calm down. You know what's the worst thing about the whole Tyson fight? Not just Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr. That's fine. It was Jack Logan, whatever his name is, Jack Logan, this YouTuber, just knocked out Nate Robinson. So you know what that means? That means all entitlement YouTuber little pricks now have a role model. What is the world coming to? Speaking of entitlement little pricks, check this out. No, I'm not going to bring Dustin Wood out like that. I wouldn't do that. You guys thought, oh, he's going to say Dustin Wood. No, I'm not going to do that. I wouldn't do that to him. I like him. I have a very, very important topic I need to talk about to each and every one of you. Everyone that's watching right now, you know what I'm about to say. You know what we're about to go through. And it's very critical, okay? Now that I have your attention, you need to listen, okay? Everyone needs to know about moving etiquette, okay? I cannot stress this enough. When you ask someone to move, to help you move, it's so funny. When people always need help moving, they're so nice. You ever notice that? Like, hey, they give you the puppy dog looks. Hey, man, are you busy this weekend? I was wondering if you could help me move. And those are the nicest people, are the biggest pricks. You ever notice that? You never hear from them at all. And then all of a sudden they go, hey, man, can you help me move, please? Well, I had to help two different people move this past weekend. Yeah, that's right. Me, myself, and I had to help two people move. Okay? And you know what, Drake Nelson? For pizza and beer too. I wish they gave me pizza and beer. Are you kidding me? The first person that I helped, I'm not going to say his name, but he is part of family. And he did the whole, help me move. And when I got there, he called me in a heartbeat. He's like, I need your help. We're leaving right now. I'm like, okay, fine. I'll go over there and help you move because, family problems, whatever. And I went over there, and his stepmom was giving me orders and telling me how to move stuff out of her house and put it on the truck. Well, you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't put it there. I'm just like biting my tongue because I have never hit old woman and I'm not going to start now. Okay. She's old and frail. And I was like, ugh. Well, you should put it there. Why don't you use zip ties? You know what? If you are not moving, shut your mouth. If you are not paying me to move, shut your mouth. Okay? And you always offer, like Drake says, pizza and beer. It is a requirement. I didn't get anything. And I found out that everyone that I went to the house with ate before I got there. So no gas money, no beer, no food, nothing. Then I went to my other friend's house. You know what he did? He gave me food. We played video games afterwards. And he said thank you multiple times. So moving etiquette, okay? If you are asking someone, don't do the puppy dog, okay? Don't be fake. Help them move, all right? All right, I'm done. Speaking of moving on, let's move on to Dustin. Hold on, before I get to Dustin, we have a fantastic show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I got an amazing guest. He is from Beyond the Mat. He is APW's 5-time Universal Heavyweight Champion, and he was ranked number 58 out of 500 wrestlers in Pro Wrestling Illustrated. Mr. Michael Modest is here. I cannot wait. Let's move on. Dustin Woods, where's your Dustin's thoughts?
What's up, buddy? First off, you need to know with moving etiquette, there is a get out of jail free card that you can use that I've been using since I was 12. You just tell them you're slowly dying from a rare disease. They just
I can't do that, dude. I can't.
Yeah, you can.
No, I can't.
Just
then
walk with a limp and say you have knee cancer or something. Because
then I'll get
going to check
cancer. I can't do that. I don't. No, the comedy gods will come back to me and haunt me. You can use that.
Right, you're right.
Maybe I could say I'm helping a friend that has a disease. But I'm sorry. I can't.
Yeah, you can use me for that excuse. So,
Perfect.
Dustin's thoughts this week. I thought long and hard, and I just didn't do it.
Why? What happened?
So, okay. Full disclosure, I got a little distracted with something equally as important. I think you'll agree, though. So
and I didn't mean to get mean. I'm sorry. I was like a dad right there. Why? Why didn't you finish your homework assignment?
You did. I got really scared. Like I thought you were going to say you were disappointed in me. I was so scared right there. You're like, and what do you feel happy with those choices, Dustin? So what I did instead is I put out a T-shirt a couple weeks ago that's been selling really well. Of a pixelated moon, like from a video game, and a moon man on top of it planting a DTV flag, which is my production company. And I made it, it's basically like an homage to the MTV Moon Man.
Okay.
So last night I sat down getting ready to come up with a brilliant Dustin's thoughts. But instead I just made my logo out of Legos.
30-year-old man,
4 hours doing this.
30-year-old man, 4 hours playing Legos. And you know what?
Not playing. I wasn't playing.
I'm sorry. Constructing and building. And you know what? It's great because I like the DTV. And look how perfect that is. Wow. Look at that. You know what? I'll be okay with that. That is amazing. No, that's amazing. I love it.
I don't know what to do with it now, though. It's like 5 pounds.
Carry it wherever you go, and just say, and then if say, "Can you help me move?"
Like an Oscar?
Can you help me move? You're like, I can't. I'm holding the DTV moon
I'm
rock.
very busy right now.
Very busy. All right, man. You gonna stick around for the show?
Yeah, dude. I got to meet Mike when I was doing some wrestling. He was the biggest inspiration to California up and coming wrestlers. So I'm so excited to meet this guy and hear him talk, man.
Nice, man. Oh, hold on. Damian Harmony just says, why do you have all your hats on the wall?
Because I'm a big Boston fan. So I have one in every color for every occasion and every feeling.
I see a lot of blue.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Dustin. So awesome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, before I bring up Mr. Michael Modest, I want to show you something before I bring him up. Why don't we just sit back and watch his career unfold right in front of us? Here we go.
What did they do so bad?
Tiffany. 30 days. Oh, God. 30 days. Our bartender. A long time. That's such a long time.
Just rob the fucking bank already.
Yo tight. Yo tight. I don't like it. Remy Marcel, tonight, brother, I'm going to snap your neck in two.
Private Payne. Private Payne uses his arms to push himself up at the moment of impact. The fans think he's been pile-drived into the canvas head first.
If you land the wrong way, you aren't going to get up from a pile driver. You'll probably just be stretchered out.
But you'll be safe as long as you know the secret.
Take it inside, where I can love how I like if I want it, whatever keeps me high. Yeah, we can take it, cut loose on an endless swing. Good because we made it, and when mama's not around, there's no telling what we'll do.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? I said, are you ready? You've seen him in the movie Beyond the Mat. He is ranked 56 out of 500 wrestlers in Pro Wrestling Illustrated. He is the 5-time Universal Heavyweight Champion of the world, Mr. Michael Martis.
Wow, that was fantastic, man.
You like that intro? I've been dying to say that for you, my friend.
That
Hello,
was
Michael.
an amazing intro. Amazing.
Dude, I will be your hype man anywhere you want. Anywhere. Anytime. Before you even walk into a place, I'm like, step aside, Michael Martis.
Right on, man.
How you doing, sir? Thank you for being on the show.
Oh, man, thanks for having me. Sorry, I look like a floating fathead. I'm in my truck right now. I have to drive into town whenever I do any kind of interviews. I live up in the mountains, part of the Emerald Triangle in California, in Weaverville, California. So,
nice. Well, there's,
yeah.
you know, man, there's plenty of weed up there, so you're good.
Definitely.
They're good. Dude, I loved, for the longest time, I used to always watch you at APW shows, and I watch you in Pro Wrestling Irons as well. And I loved your signature. Whenever you step on someone, just the thumbs up and just like in your face to people. Did you come up with that? Or did
so I stole that from Shawn Michaels. I saw Shawn Michaels do it where he did a couple elbows and then he stepped on a guy and then he wiped his sweat off and kind of threw his sweat on the guy, is what I think Shawn did. And when I was in Japan, when I first went over there, they were doing an interview with me, you know, like press interview and stuff, and it ended up going a really long time. And then they told us we could go back to the hotel, and so I was ready to go, and they were like, "Oh, you know, just a couple more questions. Do you mind?" And so just kind of sarcastically, I turned and I went, "Not at all," and I just did this really exaggerated kind of smile with a thumbs up. And all the press people went, "Whoa," and they started taking pictures. And I was like, wow, a sarcastic, exaggerated smile seems to get a big reaction over here. So I just kind of added that, you know, to the stepping on the guy's chest already, which I was already doing.
Dude, it's such a great signature too. It just, symbolizes everything. When the world's shitting on you, you just give them a thumbs up and a smile.
Right.
How long? So, do you think the styles of wrestling in Japan are how different are they with American style?
Pretty different, but one of the big mistakes a lot of American wrestlers make when they go over there is they try to be Japanese style wrestlers, and they don't really need that. They've got plenty of Japanese style wrestlers over there. It's Japan. So one of the
Right.
things they liked about me was that I brought the smile. A lot of men, especially men, strong men in Japan, they won't necessarily show a smile. It's kind of like a weak thing, so they kind of keep a straight face. And so for me to do that there was like a big deal, and it got over, and I'm a big believer in if you can make the crowd pop and you don't have to fall on your head or drop anyone on their head, then that's a good thing, so I just kept using it.
And the crowd in Japan is so sincere. They cheer over just a slap or just something so small.
Yes.
Versus
they're they kind of don't do as much yelling and screaming. It's almost like pleasant golf claps sometimes. When you do something they like, a lot of times they'll just kind of clap. And the reason why is they're trying to be polite to other people that are watching. They don't want to stand up and scream and block the view of someone behind them. Japan's a very polite culture, and so it's real different than working here at a carnival where everybody's drunk and having a good time and screaming and yelling at you. Whereas in Japan, they're really watching and showing a lot of respect to the sport, the entertainment sport of professional wrestling.
When you went there, did that throw off your timing a little bit when you first were adapted to that?
Yeah, especially I would say when I went the first time I wrestled in a country town, it kind of really threw me off. I had all these ideas of these amazing moves and these big things I was going to do. And when I started doing this stuff, the people weren't reacting to it at all.
Right.
And they were just sitting on their hands. And I was working my ass off trying to get a reaction. So finally, I was just like, damn, this isn't working. None of this is working. And I didn't know what to do. So I backed the guy up to the corner, and I climbed up the corner and I punched him once in the head. And right away, they started counting. They went each, ni, sun, yon, go, rock. So they went right along with me. And I realized that they wanted the simplest of wrestling style. Comedy was big there. Like when I did the thumbs up and the stepping on the guy, that got a huge reaction. Those kinds of things, those people, they out in the country towns, they weren't really like wrestling fans. They were kind of just going because it was something happening in town, So yeah, it was really interesting, and you definitely had to change your style around.
That must throw you off because that's how messed up America is. We're so used to the abuse of yelling and all the drunks and the carnival. We're like, yeah. You go
throwing
to Japan,
stuff at you.
You go to Japan, they're you're like respectful. What?
Right.
What, you respect me already?
Right.
I don't have to break my back for you. Oh, that's amazing.
And another interesting thing is, at least the company I was wrestling for, Noah, they, which by the way, I was the Noah Junior GHC champion as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I lost that belt to Segura, which on the clip, he's the one that I gave the reality check off the ring to the floor. That guy's the guy that beat me.
That's such a great name for a finishing move, reality check.
Right.
Just want to let you know. Let you know. It's a reality check.
Right. Let me just pause on this, and here you go. Boom.
Dude, I think you need to come back and tell everybody, all these entitled little pricks, a little reality check nowadays.
Man, I'll tell you, part of me really, really wants to, and I almost did right before the whole COVID thing blasted off.
Yeah.
I almost was thinking, okay, maybe I'll kind of get back in there a little bit, just because it's just one of those things you like to do,
It's a part of you, man.
Exactly.
It's you.
Right.
It's
I'm
you.
49
Yeah.
years old, but I've been that for 25 plus years,
Wow.
of my life.
Where did you
So,
start wrestling?
well, I started wrestling, in high school and stuff like that. And then I started with APW. Well, actually, let me go back a little bit further. The first guy to actually train me was a guy named Jerry Monty, and his company was Pacific Coast Championship Wrestling, PCCW. And he did little shows at carnivals, like fairgrounds, uh, bingo parlors, things like that. And Playboy Buddy Rose actually was wrestling for him because Playboy Buddy Rose was from Oregon. And so that's where I actually started. And Jerry had a real hands-off kind of approach to training. He would kind of watch and tell you, hey, do this, do that. But he stayed out of the ring most of the time. A guy named Jim Gorman did a lot of the instructing for Jerry. And so that's where I got that's who broke me into the business. And Jerry was more of like an entertainer. He didn't wrestle so much as he did shticks in the ring. Like, for example, he'd lock up with the bad guy, the heel. The heel would take him in a headlock, tell the referee, hey, he's got my trunks. The referee goes back. The heel punches Jerry in the head. Jerry complains to the ref, hey, look what he did. He punched me. The ref says, I didn't see. Jerry says, ask the people. The ref's like, I didn't see. They repeat the same thing again. Lock up. Heel takes Jerry, punches him in the head. Ref again doesn't see. So then the third time the heel goes to do it from the headlock, Jerry blocks the punch, reverses the headlock, and Jerry punches the heel a whole bunch of times in the head and then does a big rope-a-dope, one more big punch. The heel takes a bump and the referee sees it and admonishes, Jerry Monty for punching the guy.
Right.
And then Jerry would go on to the next shtick, and so all of his matches kind of read like that. They were as someone that did amateur wrestling, to me, it didn't ring as a fight. I could tell it was 100% entertainment.
Right. Is that where you started? Did you start modeling after that before you found your groove?
Well, yeah, I just did the best I could, and I would watch stuff on TV and kind of emulate it, and a lot of times that didn't end too good.
I'm sure.
I really hurt my hip doing a drop kick off the top rope. I watched Coco Beware do it, and I was like, yeah, I think I got this. I think I know how to do this. And I didn't. I did not know the secret.
How long did you train before you went to your first match?
With Jerry Monty, I trained for about a year.
Oh, wow.
And I was very green the first time I ever wrestled and it was for WWE. Well, actually, let me go back again. So my first match with Jerry Monty was at a Vallejo County Fairgrounds against a guy named the Samoan Bulldog. And I made a beginner's mistake. I went up to him before he was ready to talk, and I was like, hey, man, you want to talk? I was 18, and I had invited my whole family and all my friends to come watch me wrestle. And he says, oh, hold on a second, brother. I'm not ready yet, and he was taping up his ankles and taping up his fingers and stuff. And then he says to me, oh, okay, brother, come on over here. Let's talk. So mind you, this guy's 280 pounds. I'm about 180.
Oh, man.
And, but I'm going to be the bad guy for the night. So he says, so you got some ideas? I go, oh, yeah, I've got a lot of ideas, because I shit you not. I actually I laid in bed the night before and dreamed of all these different things that we could do to impress my friends, my family, and the crowd, and there was a pretty decent crowd there at the fairgrounds. I'd say 1,000 people or so.
Oh, wow. That's a huge crowd.
Yeah, it was really good, especially for back in those days. Independent companies and promotions didn't draw well at all. And we had 700 to 1,000 people there. It was a pretty decent, house. And most of the time I worked for Jerry, it was in front of 60 to 150 people.
Right.
But this was a big thing, man, and I was so excited. So I had all kinds of ideas, and I shot every idea at him. And at some point, he said, "Okay," and I was like,
Wow. That's a huge
"Okay."
compliment.
Yeah, right. I was like, "Okay to what?" And he goes, "Okay to all of it, bro." He goes, "You got it, man." He goes, "That sounds good." So I was like, I walked away. I did a Barry Horowitz. I patted myself on the back, and felt really good about myself. I was like, he didn't even dislike one idea. There wasn't one thing that he was like, "Yeah, maybe we'll do this." No, he loved it. So then I go out there and I'm yelling at the people, being a jerk, like I'm supposed to be. And we get in the ring and he comes out and he's the good guy and everybody's cheering him. And he looks like a pro wrestler 100%, man. This guy's built Samoan bulldog. He's massive, 280 pounds. I'm going to be honest with you. I look like an 18-year-old kid with long hair, and it was two-toned because I couldn't afford to have it bleached again. So it bleached out so far. And then where it wasn't really bleached, it was kind of orangish brown, like an orangutan, and it didn't look too good.
It was like a style. Be like, nah, it was too poor.
Right. So I go out there. I get in the ring and I'm talking shit to this big, massive, grown man, and we go to lock up, and he does a vet move on me, where he just on the lockup, instead of locking up, he just follows through and punches me directly in the face.
Damn.
And
he's a big Samoan dude.
Oh man, he hit me so freaking hard, Mike, that my nose exploded and I was out cold. And I rolled out of the ring and I stood there for a second and I was kind of like trying to shake the cobwebs. And oddly enough, the first thought that came to my head was, why did I call that? Why did I call punch me in the face at the start of the match? What a dumb thing for me to call. I was actually still kind of thinking that it was a mistake and it was something that I had suggested.
Right.
And then he looked at me and he says, "I'm going to kill you, brother." And he jumped out of the ring and I believed him 100%. I started running from him and the people are booing me. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, honestly, you guys should probably be cheering me right now. I'm really running for my life, and I'm really a pretty nice kid, like my mom and dad raised me really good. I'm nice, and I'm not the asshole I was portraying to be.
Oh, what a scary moment.
I slid into the ring and I thought, okay, all I can do at this point, I can't beat this guy's ass. I already realized this.
Right.
Even though I've got a little amateur wrestling under my belt, I'm no fighter. And so the only thing I thought to do was, okay, I'll give him a kick. When he slides in, I'll give him a kick and I'll do it real nice and light. So he knows that, I'm smart to the business. I'm not trying to hurt him, and he doesn't have to hurt me. I'm smart here. I've been trained for about a year, So as he's sliding in, I give him a real light kick and he no-sells it, gets up and punches me in the face again. And then he's picking me up. And I remember coming to as he was picking me up and I thought, okay, I think I've lost, I think this must be the end of the match. And maybe he feels bad. Nope. He clotheslined me in the face as he's picking me up. And so it was a match with basically like three hits and a little period where I ran around the ring running from him. My mom was so pissed off. She wanted to go get my dad's gun in Vacaville and come back and like shoot this guy. And, but that was my intro, and after the match and everything, and I went and I wanted to cry, honestly, like really, I wanted to cry.
I would have cried after my nose was busted open.
Dude, I wanted to, man. And I think somewhere inside I was crying, but I had this idea that that I couldn't go to Jerry Monty crying. Jerry wouldn't accept it. Jerry was a old school Italian guy.
Right.
And if I went to Jerry crying, Jerry was liable to punch me too, or at least slap me. And so I went up to Jerry after everything kind of calmed down, and I stayed very far away from the Samoan guy because I didn't want to get hit again for some, unknown reason. Because at this point, I still didn't have an idea why.
Right.
And so then, later, as we were getting the ring together and everything, I went to Jerry Monty and I asked him. I said, "Hey, Jerry, what happened? Why did he, punch me and beat my ass like that?" And Jerry said, "Well, he's a vet, and this was your first match." And he says, "You really should have went up to him and said, 'Hey, you got any ideas? I want to do whatever you want to do.' But instead, you went up to him and you had all the ideas."
Oh, wow.
And he said, "So you really offended him, that you felt like he had nothing to offer."
Wow.
So when I looked at it that way, I really did see the point. I still think it was a little overkill. Maybe he could have just slapped me right there in the locker room and said, "Hey, shut your fucking mouth. Listen to me. I'll tell you how we're going to do it." That would have been a lot better.
The worst thing, he gave you all that confidence, like everything's going to be fine. He's like, "Yeah, sure, bro. No problem."
Yeah. Oh,
Give
man.
you a big hug and all that stuff, and then whang, and just hits you up.
Yeah, talk
Oh, my
about a
God.
total swerve.
I think the confidence builder is worse than the punch.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was. Because the whole time he knows what he's going to do.
Right.
But he's patting me on the back, telling me what a great kid I am,
And that's how the reality check was born.
Yeah, that was my reality check into the business.
Wow.
So after that, I was real careful to mind my P's and Q's. And I realized that even though it was a form of entertainment, that I needed to show a lot of respect to anyone who was participating in it, and so tried to do that for the rest of my career, show a lot of respect. And
well, you have a great reputation because of that, Michael. You have Dustin Wood. He wants to ask you a question, if you don't mind.
No,
Dustin, take it away, brother.
Hey, what's up, Michael? Man, I'm a big fan. This is
like
Dustin?
A
big deal for me. I'm really excited. How you doing?
Right on, man.
So, in 2005 to 2008, I was a wrestler in Northern California, and I was ring crew for APW for some shows and stuff in like Stockton. And one of my favorite stories I would always share with people had to do with you.
Oh yeah.
There's new company opened up in Southern California, and they would bring in guys from TNA like Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe, and there is a big battle royal that you were in, and my buddy got told he was going to be in the battle royal, and it was his first big match, and you guys were all around a ring talking about the battle royal, and my friend was maybe 120 pounds, like super cruiserweight, and he was like, he told you, "Hey, I'm thinking I'm going to moonsault onto you." And you started laughing, and you were like, "Okay, if you strap a 50-pound bag of cement to you." And it was just the funniest shutdown I've ever heard in my life. He just had no idea what you were talking about, and I'm like behind the barrier, like putting zip ties on, laughing my ass off. So a question I wanted to ask you is, I was a big tape trader. So your match with Donovan Morgan was kind of like one of those gems you wanted to find, because you only saw a little bit of it on Beyond the Mat. And I wanted to know, do people still come up and ask you about that match? Because to me, it should be shown at like the Performance Center in Florida, or to any wrestler that wants to show how to put on a good impression with a tryout match.
Well, so my match with Donovan was a tryout, but the match with Beyond the Mat was with Tony Jones.
Tony Jones, sorry, I got it confused.
Yeah. But I did have a tryout with WWE. So Beyond the Mat, it's a little bit of a docudrama, because they kind of fibbed on a few things here and there. It wasn't my first tryout. It was my last tryout actually with WWE, was Beyond the Mat. And I burnt a bridge. I really pissed some people off there for a couple of reasons. One, I did the NBC Wrestling Secrets Exposed. One of the reasons I did that was because I was participating in Beyond the Mat, which was being done with WWE's blessing. So I figured, okay, computers are out. Everyone can go online and find out what the deal is now. I don't think it's a big deal, you know.
Right.
And growing up, I always knew it was entertainment, and I never cared. I always knew you had to be an athlete to do it. I always still, you know, enjoyed both sides of it. I'm still a bigger wrestling fan than I am a football fan or baseball fan, or to me, other sports are boring. No one's going to
I
slide out.
100% agree.
You know, no one's going to slide out from
Same
under.
thing.
No one in baseball is going to come out and hit someone with a chair, you know?
Not nowadays. Back in the 80s, yeah. Nolan Ryan and stuff.
Not no more. You know, the quarterback's never going to pull off his hat, pull off his helmet, and pull out some brass knucks and whack somebody in a football game. But in wrestling, all kinds of crazy shit can happen. You never know what's going to happen while you're enjoying the sport of it, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
And I kind of went off subject here.
It's okay. This is all good. This is wonderful.
So, but you were talking about the tryout with Donovan. Okay, so that was my last tryout was with Tony Jones with WWE. I had a great tryout with Donovan as well. I had a tryout with Robert Thompson that didn't go so well. He ended up having a kind of stage fright, and so that one didn't go well.
You wrestled Kurgan as well, didn't you? I remember you wrestling Kurgan.
Right. I wrestled the Beverly Brothers, but Kurgan and the Beverly Brothers, that was enhancement talent. I was just a jobber.
Oh, okay.
And I prefer the term jobber I prefer that over enhancement talent. Everyone got real PC at some point. And I liked jobber. I liked being called a jobber. To me, it was like a journeyman in construction or something, you know. It's like I got my first title, you know. But when I had my tryout with Tony Jones for Beyond the Mat, I was already participating in the Wrestling Secrets Exposed, and one of the agreements was for me to do the documentary and for me to do the tryout. I told them that I wanted 10 minutes. The reason I said that was because what typically happens when you get a tryout, they'll tell you got 10 minutes, and then 30 minutes before, they'll tell you got 8 minutes. Then 10 minutes before, they tell you got 5 minutes. And then as you're going out the curtain, they tell you got 2 minutes. And then when you get out there, they tell you got 45 seconds.
Oh,
I swear to you. That's
and you got to scramble everything, every spot within seconds.
Exactly.
Is that
done? And that's what they're hoping you'll do. They're hoping you'll try to rush 10 minutes worth of shit into 2 minutes and fuck everything up. So
they want you to fail?
Kind of. And they really, especially at that time, WWE, they were booking on look, not talent. They really didn't care if you could really wrestle very well. As long as you could sell popsicles or ice cream bars and shit like that, as long as they could put a cool gimmick on you and it was sellable, they would be good with it, you know. My style of wrestling, I have to tell a story. And one of my biggest assets is that I am a wrestler. So when people see me start doing shit that they remember from high school, and they see me doing stuff that they remember from college, it adds a little credibility, and it kind of hooks them into what I'm doing. Now, when I add something that's a little less believable, like a leg drop or some shit like that, they'll believe it because what they've been seeing is slightly real. Mm-hmm. So that's just always been my style. So I knew I needed 10 minutes to kind of get the crowd behind me and you know, to kind of tell that story. So
you definitely painted the picture for sure on that camera.
Right. Exactly. It's no different than being a comedian, man. If you have a 10-minute set and you know exactly you got this thing down, and now you're getting out there and they tell you, okay, look, you know what? You got a minute. Give us your best shit. It's going to throw you way the fuck off.
I'll just bring out a chair. That's
exactly right.
Hey, Dustin, I would love to keep you on, but man, we only got a few minutes with Michael.
No,
I
totally understand.
I got some comments.
Much, Michael.
Yeah,
let me just finish. Let me finish the story up real quick.
Go ahead.
So Tony Jones and me, when we get in there, the referee tells us that, hey guys, you got to go home like within a minute. And I was like, no.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And he was like, what? And I said, no, I'm not going home. I was told 10 minutes. I'm doing 10 minutes. And so I just kept working. And the reason why is because I didn't give a fuck at that point. What I didn't want to be, I didn't want my part in Beyond the Mat to be the sorry, sad sack that had a shitty tryout and just couldn't make it.
Right.
Instead, I wanted it to be the badass motherfucker that impressed everybody. And for some reason, because I was too small, they still didn't fucking hire me.
Right.
They still blackballed me because of the NBC Secrets Exposed and all that shit. Even though they've got the fucking Ultimate Warrior being hypnotized by Papa Shango, spitting up split meat fucking
no
soup.
kidding. No kidding.
Hey, who exposed the fucking business? When you have shit like that going on in your company, and then you're going to say that you're protecting the business, I was like, I'm not exposing shit. You know,
right? Well,
really.
I don't know if you remember.
You threw
your
a
episode.
Go ahead, Dave.
Your episode was the one where they cut off Val Venus's penis. The episode that Mike did the dark match on,
right?
And it's like, what's happened? Did you have a porn star getting his penis chopped off by a Japanese Yakuza member?
Right.
But let's protect the business.
Let's protect the business, and let's not make sure, let's show everybody what a sport it is, so.
That's so
but,
you're the wrench in the machine, Michael. You
I
just
was, man. And
reality
the thing
check. Wham!
I could hear Bruce Pritchard on the fucking mic. I could hear Bruce Pritchard saying, tell that motherfucker to go home. Does he know what the fuck go home means? Go the fuck home. Go the fuck home. And Tony was like, Mike, this is awesome. And we got him. By the end of it, they couldn't tell the story that I wasn't fucking good enough. Instead, you have D'Lo Brown in the back saying, oh, I'm stealing it. Stealing my move,
Right.
So that was why I was bound and determined.
Beautiful.
Wow.
That's amazing. All right, Dustin, I got to let you go, man. I got to answer these comments. There's so many people leaving comments.
Thank you,
brother. All right, we got some dude, that's like, dude, you are going to start the revolution, Michael Modest. I just want to let you know that. You've inspired all of us to begin this revolution. If Biden fucks up, we're throwing Michael Modest in the wrench.
Hey, I think I might be able to do a better job.
I vote for you. I already blame Biden for everything anyways. I definitely vote for you.
No doubt.
We got some comments, man. You got from Damian Harmony, huge wrestling fan and stand-up comedian. He said, do you think you ever get noticed better by how you sell or how you get your shit over?
Honestly, nowadays you get over more getting your shit in, honestly. There aren't a lot of people that are looking for the little tiny nuances. I remember watching a match where Dick Murdoch got punched in the face and he reached in and he actually like wiggled his tooth. And then he checked his fingers for blood. And it was such a good sell that I was like, I got to rewind it. Did he get hit? I think he must have accidentally got hit. And this is back in the VCR days. And I just rewound it a bunch of times. And I could not tell if Bob Armstrong really caught him or if it was just a really good sell. And years later, I found out that it was just, that's how good Dick Murdoch was.
Oh, he was so good. Highly underrated.
Yes.
Highly underrated. You got another wrestler, Mr. Leonard Castanula. I butchered his last name. I'm sorry, Leonard. Please don't freaking drop kick me. But he says storytelling is a lost art in wrestling today. Do you believe that, Michael?
Oh, man, 100%. I 100% believe that storytelling is a lost art nowadays in wrestling. And some of it has to do with just the way society is. Everybody wants things now. And so if you want to catch someone's attention, you better be doing some kind of choke slam or a big boot or something. You know, you sit in that headlock too long, you're going to lose them, you know. And I'll try to make this a real quick story. So one of the things that always bothered me in pro wrestling is how Ric Flair will when the babyface has him in the headlock on the mat. Ric Flair will roll him over, 1, 2, back over to the headlock. And then Ric Flair will grab the trunks, pull him back over, 1, 2, back to the headlock. And no heel has ever won a match doing that. And yet every heel does it. He'll grab the trunks and roll the baby face back over, 1, 2, and he comes back over, or 1 count or whatever. But my thing was, why do it if no one ever wins that way?
Right.
So when I was in Japan, I actually used that as a finish in one of my matches. The whole match, I kept rolling him over and doing that. And at the end of the match, I went for his finisher, which was a belly to back suplex. He blocked it. He pulled me over in a headlock takedown. And when I rolled him over this time, I bridged. And so I stacked him really tight and I got the win, 1, 2, 3. And the crowd went fucking crazy. And my boss, Mitsuharu Misawa, actually came up and said, wow, really good finish. He goes, I never see before.
Wow.
Because no one's ever used it.
Wow.
You know, and so my thing in pro wrestling is why are so many things in pro wrestling used over and over and over, and yet no one changes the outcome of it, you know, or adds a little credibility. You know, if you don't win with a sunset flip every once in a while, then you know it starts to lose its effect and impact.
Right. What are your thoughts on AEW? How do you feel about that promotion?
I love AEW, and don't get me wrong, I'm not one of those like disgruntled old vets, you know, codgers that all the young guys suck. There's amazing talent out there, guys that are just blowing me away out there right now. Again, it's not the talent. The talent is there. There's tons of great wrestling. I just watched an ROH match, a Ring of Honor match.
Love Ring of Honor.
They're doing like the pure wrestling style where it's more grappling and wrestling, and they're trying to get that over. And I was just blown away with the match I watched the other day on Ring of Honor. So there's tons of great wrestling. AEW still, of course, NXT and WWE, they still have amazing talent and great wrestling. I actually sometimes I miss the days of the enhancement talent where the superstar would just kind of go in there and beat the guy's ass and show all of his like great moves, you know. So I like I said, I still think there's great talent out there. There's great wrestling still happening. But by and large, I think the storytelling has kind of died, and there's a lot less being done on feel, like it used to be back in the day. You could switch gears and kind of see this isn't working. I'm going to switch gears and go do this instead.
Right.
You know.
Wow. Well, Mike, we got 5 minutes. I know you got to roll out. And first of all, thank you so much for this. This has been amazing. Phenomenal.
Mike, I really appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, man, I love this. And I have a question for you. And this is you spouting out the reality check. This is you throwing the wrench into today's society. What would your dream match be, and how would it go?
Oh wow! You know, honestly, right now, I'm gonna give a shout out to Tony Jones.
Ooh.
My dream match would be a Beyond the Mat rematch with Tony Jones.
That would be sick.
You know, I've wrestled quite a few of my heroes, and the ones that I didn't have pretty much all died now. So to me, that would be a good one. Me and Tony Jones had great matches always. So that would probably be my dream match. There's not a whole lot that I haven't accomplished that I would really want to.
Have you thought about doing a promo shoot right now to call out Tony and throwing the wrench into his reality before you go?
Tony knows. Tony Jones knows. I'm always ready for Tony. we've almost had it booked a couple of times, but it just doesn't seem to happen.
Can you do it for just my show for shits and giggles? Just to,
Oh man,
hold on. I'm going to give you the full
awesome.
screen, and then you call them out. Is that
All right?
Ready? Here we go. Hold on. I'll remove this.
Tony, for years and years, man, you've been telling me, "Oh, Mike, I just wish I could have one rematch against you. You beat me in Beyond the Mat, and it's just I just want that one rematch so I could just get even with you." And I'd like to give you that opportunity, brother, just so I could shut you down one more time. But I love you, you know that.
Yes. That's awesome. Oh my God, Michael, thank you so much. Appreciate that, dude.
Right on.
Listen, everybody, if you want to follow Michael, make sure you follow him at facebook.com/michael.modest.3. Follow him, whatever he has. He is just do whatever he has. Movies,
hey man,
anything.
I'm also on 13 Reasons Why, the second season of 13 Reasons Why, episodes 11 and 12.
Dude, shoot me links whenever, and I will always promote it on my podcast for you, brother.
Right on, man.
Yeah. Well, dude, we made it before 9 o'clock, man. So now you
Beautiful.
can go get the kid and pay the sitter just in time, dude.
Thanks a lot, Mike. Appreciate
All right,
it, brother.
brother.
Thank you.
Thank you. You take care,
All right,
brother.
man.
All
Take
right.
care.
Later. Dude, was that dope or what, man?
I've been nerding out over here like so bad. I saw one of the comments and I have to reiterate it. I could listen to Mike talk about wrestling
all day
for
long.
hours.
All day long. Who said that?
He
That
just
was
got so much
Drake
knowledge.
Nelson.
You got to bring him back for a second interview because I had so
I
many
didn't even
questions.
touch the iceberg of it, and
Yeah.
you can only do so much in X amount of time. He had a role, and you know what? I really appreciate that he came down and did that for us. And he lives 15 minutes away he lives up in the hills, and he drove down for this interview and had to get back. So
well, dude, I think it's not to blow smoke, but I think it's just the reputation that you've built as an interviewer and just this show that people are willing to go out of their ways. I mean, let's look at I'm blanking on his name right now, but he was at a barbecue. He took a break from his barbecue.
Joey Medina,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And Mike, looked like he was literally in the cave where Gollum finds the ring, but he still made the effort to come and do an interview with you, even though he was in like his car and he had to drive 15 minutes away. I think it's a testament to you and what you do on the show, man.
Well, thank you. It's also part of you and all the fans that are watching. Everyone that watches the show. Elias, thank you, brother. I really appreciate it, man. It was a great show. It's awesome. I love podcasting on Thursdays. So, guys, we got to get going. But one more time, you can follow Michael Modest at facebook.com/michael.modest.3. You can follow The Adorkable on Instagram at Adorkable Dustin Wood. There it is. Booyah. And also, please donate to this show. Please donate, because I want to have merchandise, but I can't have merchandise if I don't have the money to keep this show going. And I want to keep going. I want to have expensive lighting and make it fun for you and interactive. So please donate to the show at Venmo at Mike Betancourt.
If you guys donate
Venmo,
enough money,
let me do this and then
fireworks on the show.
Yes, I will have fireworks on the show. So donate Venmo Mike-Betancourt-5 so you can see some fireworks and pyromania. That's what I'll do.
I don't like you can do impressions of inanimate objects. That blows my mind.
Right. And also, folks, if you want, please, if you missed the live show, if you're listening to this on the podcast, you can always check this show on youtube.com/MikeBComedy. Once again, you can watch the show and other shows on youtube.com/MikeBComedy. Dustin, that was a fast hour, man.
That was fast, dude.
9 o'clock on the money. And that's what Michael said. He's like, I better be done by now. I'm like, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You don't want to piss him off.
No, I don't want to go over the light with him. So everyone that was watching, Damien, Drake, Leonard, everybody else, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Before we go, let's have a prayer from Sam Elliott. And now, a prayer from Sam Elliott.
Dear Heavenly Father, give me the strength, for I don't have any patience for stupidity anymore. Everywhere I go, I see someone doing something stupid, and I just want to smack them across the head, but I can't, dear Father, for you are the dude of this universe. Dear Lord, we're in a pandemic, and I'm starting to lose my cool. All I want to do is sit in my leather chair, smoke a Marlboro Red, and drink a beer. Coors, America's beer. Lone Star Barbecue. Amen.
You know what I'm thinking, dude? I think Mr. Hulk Hogan needs to do a closeout video.
Yes, absolutely.
What you gonna do, brother? What you gonna do? Dude, bro, Jack, come on. Oh, yeah, Macho Man. And Hulk Hogan, dude, at the same time, brah. Dude, bro, what are we doing? We're in Mike's head, dude. Oh, yeah, we're in Mike's head. The mega powers are in Mike's head. Oh, brother, what are you going to do? Oh, brother, where art thou? I don't know, brother. You're not my brother anymore.
Oh, my God, I'm having mega powers in my mind right now.
Dude, your head is the scariest place on earth.
It is the scariest, but it's also the funnest place on earth as well. So,
oh, yeah, brother.
Okay, I got to go. Dustin, thank you so much for being here. You guys have a wonderful weekend. And remember, if you're asking someone to move, beer and pizza. There you go, together. Peer. Give them beer and pizza.
Beer.
Brother.
Listen here, brother. I want to thank each and every one of you for listening to me, myself, and I, dude. Bruh, it's Jack. One more time for Michael Modest for being here, bruh. And one more time for Dustin Woods. One more time. I laugh like a little punk, but I'm Macho. I'm Hulk Hogan and Macho Man. What you gonna do? Oh, yeah. Macho Man will thank every one of you. Thank you, Michael Modest. Yeah.
All right, everyone. You have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Take care. Bye.
Bye, brother.